Hello and welcome to the July edition of the Dot Report. This month, we're covering a ransomware attack that disrupted Coca-Cola's dairy production operations, a healthcare data breach impacting more than 700,000 individuals, and a security incident involving Accenture that exposed source code and access credentials, plus a critical Zoom vulnerability requiring an emergency update. Before we get into our stories this month, make sure to check out even more coverage in the podcast version of the Dot Report on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you like to listen. Now, let's jump right in. Coca-Cola's Fairlife dairy division has become the latest example of how ransomware attacks can disrupt real-world business operations. The company was forced to temporarily halt U.S. production after a ransomware attack impacted systems supporting its manufacturing environment. The Nubis ransomware group later claimed responsibility, alleging that it also stole approximately 1 terabyte of company data and threatens to release that information. Coca-Cola has not confirmed the full scope of the attack or whether the stolen data claims are entirely accurate, but the company did say it's investigating the incident with cybersecurity experts and law enforcement. Fairlife also confirmed that product safety and quality were not affected. Though the attack highlights why ransomware remains such a serious concern for manufacturers and other operational businesses, because when production systems are disrupted, the impact can extend beyond IT teams, affecting supply chains, customer relationships, and day-to-day operations. This incident specifically is another reminder that cybersecurity is closely tied to business continuity. The ability to detect threats, limit damage, and restore critical systems quickly can determine how effectively a company recovers from an attack. And while ransomware can bring operations to a standstill, other incidents create a different challenge: understanding what information attackers may have accessed. Healthcare software provider Craneware has confirmed a cybersecurity incident that exposed the personal and protected health information of approximately 731,000 individuals. The company said an unauthorized third party gained access to certain systems, prompting an investigation with the help of external cybersecurity experts. The exposed information varies by individual, but may include names, dates of birth, social security numbers, health insurance details, medical information, and financial data. Craneware said there is currently no evidence that the information has been misused, but affected individuals are being notified and offered identity protection services. This exemplifies why healthcare remains such a valuable target for attackers. Organizations and technology providers in this industry manage some of the most sensitive information available, and a single compromise can impact hundreds, if not thousands, of individuals. The lesson here extends beyond healthcare. Understanding what sensitive data exists, where it's stored, and how quickly an organization can respond after a breach are all critical parts of modern cybersecurity. The obstacle becomes even more significant when the affected organization is itself a major technology provider. Accenture confirmed that it is investigating a security incident after a threat actor claimed to have stolen source code, configuration files, and access credentials from the company systems. The claim surfaced on a cybercrime forum where the attacker alleged they have obtained sensitive development data, including cloud access keys and internal project files. Accenture has stated that there is currently no evidence that client systems or operations were impacted, and the company is continuing to investigate the scope of the incident. But at large, this situation highlights why attackers continue targeting software development environments and cloud infrastructure. Because source code, configuration files, and exposed credentials can provide valuable insight into how systems are built and potentially create opportunities for follow-on attacks. It also reinforces the growing importance of third-party and supply chain security. Organizations increasingly rely on technology providers, consultants, and software partners that may have access to sensitive systems or information. A compromise at one trusted provider can create risks that extend far beyond the original target. So the takeaway here is that cybersecurity risk extends beyond traditional endpoints and networks. Protecting development environments, managing access credentials, and maintaining visibility across cloud systems have all become essential parts of a modern cybersecurity program. And as organizations work to protect increasingly complex environments, they are also facing another challenge. And that's keeping pace with the vulnerabilities discovered in the tools they rely on every single day. Zoom has released an emergency security update this month after researchers identified a critical vulnerability affecting its workplace app for Windows. The flaw could allow an authenticated attacker to escalate privileges on a vulnerable system, potentially gaining access to actions and resources that would normally be restricted. While the vulnerability requires existing access to the system and does not allow remote exploitation on its own, privilege escalation flaws can become valuable tools when combined with other attack techniques. Because once an attacker gains an initial foothold, these vulnerabilities can help them move deeper into an environment. The incident is another reminder that collaboration platforms have become essential business infrastructure. Applications like Zoom now support much more than video meetings, including messaging, file sharing, and other productivity features that connect users to sensitive business information. The key message here is to prioritize critical security updates, maintain visibility into the software running across your environment, and avoid leaving known vulnerabilities exposed for any longer than absolutely necessary. That's it for this month. So as always, thanks for watching, and remember, if you want more news from the Dot Report, you can hear these stories plus several more covered in our podcast report on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you like to listen. I'm Andrew Mancini with Dot Security, and this has been the Dot Report. We're safe out there, and we'll see you next month.